What's up guys, my name is Arena and welcome back to my channel where I review everything tech. In today's video, I want to talk about the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Ever since these new iPhones were released, I've got many questions from you guys about which phone is better and which phone you should buy, the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and I see where these questions are coming from. We got three new models, well, technically two, the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro in two sizes. There's a pretty big difference in prices. These phones share a lot of similar tech specs, so I can see how it could all get really confusing. So guys, in this video I'll talk about all the differences between these iPhones. I'll also share my own experience of using these two devices, but then you'll have to decide for yourself which features and aspects about these iPhones are crucial for you and which ones you could pretty much neglect. And of course, I want to start with the displays of these iPhones. You've probably often heard that the display on the iPhone 11 Pro is better than the one on the iPhone 11, but is it? What does it really mean exactly? What actually does make it better? So we have a 6.1-inch LCD display on the iPhone 11 and a 6.5-inch OLED display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And taking aside the fact that these are different display technologies and OLED displays are more expensive to produce than the LCD displays, let's compare them side by side in the real world. The first thing I want to show you is the difference in brightness. At 100% brightness, you can see that the display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max looks brighter. And let's look at some pictures. I really hope my camera will be able to pick up all the differences. So these are the same pictures, but guys, look how different they look on these displays, especially if you look at the sky. But as you can see, the overall picture from the iPhone 11 looks slightly dimmer when compared to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. In the next same photos, you can clearly see how much brighter the whites look on the display of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And also, look how much darker the black colors look on the display of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And this contrast between whites and blacks is actually one of the main features of any OLED display, so you get a more expressive viewing experience with higher dynamic range if you go for the iPhone 11 Pro or the 11 Pro Max. Also, the display of the iPhone 11 Pro Max has a higher pixel density than the one of the iPhone 11. However, I personally don't see any significant difference in viewing experience. Now let's see how these displays perform when looking at them from an angle. And once again, you can see that the iPhone 11's display looks much dimmer when compared to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And looking at these pictures, I want to talk about the difference in colors that you probably already noticed from the previous pictures. But first, let's go back to the display settings. So, both of these iPhones have the True Tone, the feature that I think most of you are familiar with, which adjusts the white balance of the display to match the light around you for a more accurate paper white viewing experience. But in practice, it just always makes colors on a display look warmer. And if I disable the True Tone on both of these phones, you can see that right away the white colors start looking bluish, and overall the colors get cold looking on both of these displays. However, whether the True Tone is enabled or not, the colors on the iPhone 11 Pro Max will always look warmer and hence slightly different when compared to the iPhone 11. So guys, if you ask me, I prefer the warmer looking OLED display on the iPhone 11 Pro Max because it just feels more comfortable for my eyes. And also, the higher brightness and higher dynamic range are also pretty significant points for me. But reading your comments and seeing that some of you actually prefer colder looking photos and colors, in this case, I think overpaying for the OLED display doesn't sound reasonable at all. However, I'll be honest with you guys, after using my iPhone 11 for a few hours, I get used to its display pretty fast and can't see any shortcomings anymore. Next, let's talk about the speakers of these two iPhones. Both the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max have stereo speakers. There are built-in stereo speakers in the displays over here, and the other two are down here on the right side. Those on the left side are actually not speakers. Both of these iPhones sound pretty loud, and honestly, ever since the iPhone 8 came out, I found the speakers on the iPhones to be some of my favorite. These speakers sound really good. And guys, I tried really hard to identify a winner between the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro Max, but There is no winner. They sound equally well in terms of loudness and quality. And moving on to the battery life and charging. The iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro Max are both fast charge capable, so you could charge them with an 18-watt adapter or higher. However, when it comes to power adapters, you get an 18-watt adapter in a box with the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and you get a measly 5-watt adapter in a box with the iPhone 11. And if you want, you could buy an 18-watt fast charger separately. Apple promises us that you get up to 50% charge in 35 minutes with an 18-watt power adapter on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And let's see how it works in the real world. Well, in 35 minutes we get 54% on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. And it takes 1 hour and 52 minutes to fully charge it. And when it comes to the iPhone 11, Apple promises up to 50% charge in 30 minutes with an 18-watt adapter. And let's also see how it works in real life. And we get 55% in 30 minutes. And it takes 1 hour and 36 minutes to fully charge the iPhone 11. Now let's talk about the battery life. Apple claims that the iPhone 11 Pro Max has the longest battery life in any iPhone. And from my experience, after charging my phone to the max right before going to sleep, I still had 60% by the end of the following day. So yeah, the battery life of the 11 Pro Max is really good. And when it comes to the iPhone 11, the battery life is also pretty good, and I would often end the day somewhere around 25%. Next, let's talk about the cameras of these iPhones. We have a 12-megapixel dual camera on the iPhone 11 and a 12-megapixel triple camera on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Just like on the iPhone XR, the new iPhone 11 lacks the telephoto camera. However, the good thing is that both of these models, the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro Max, get the new ultra-wide camera, which is really amazing. Also, you get the night mode on both of these iPhones and improved stabilization in 4K videos shot at 60 frames per second. And when it comes to front-facing cameras, we get the same 12-megapixel cameras on both of these devices, and both of these front-facing cameras are capable of shooting 4K videos. From my perspective, the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max produce pretty much identical photos in most situations. I already have a very comprehensive camera comparison video between the iPhone 11, the 11 Pro Max, and also the iPhone XS Max on my channel, where I'm showing all new camera features, talking about the nuances and differences between these cameras, so don't forget to check this out. I've started this video with, I think, the most crucial and important differences between the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro Max, and now let's switch gears and talk a little about the design of these iPhones and other more subtle differences. The iPhone 11 Pro Max comes in 4 different colors: midnight green, silver, space gray, and gold. And when it comes to the iPhone 11, you'll probably have more fun choosing from a wider variety of vibrant colors. You could get your iPhone in purple, yellow, green, black, white, and red. And speaking of materials these iPhones are built from, it's glass back and an aluminum frame on the iPhone 11, and it's matte glass and a stainless steel frame on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And speaking of the weight of these iPhones, the iPhone 11 is a little bit lighter than the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but holding both of these phones in my hands, I cannot call the difference in weight dramatic, because at the end of the day they're just about 30 grams apart. And as you can see, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is slightly bigger. It's taller by 7mm and wider by just 2mm. However, the iPhone 11 Pro Max has thinner bezels, hence it has a bigger number when it comes to the screen-to-body ratio. The iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro Max come with non-expandable storage of 64, 128, and 256 GB for the iPhone 11, and 64, 256, and 512 GB for the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Both of these iPhones are powered by A13 Bionic chip with 3rd generation neural engine. And whatever it means, the most important thing is that it feels very snappy and fast on both of these phones. There were some occasional freezes when these iPhones just came out, but the speedy updates from Apple have fixed this problem. So for the past month, my whole experience with both of these iPhones has been very smooth. When it comes to biometrics, we have the Face ID on the iPhone 11 Pro Max as well as on the iPhone 11, and I would say it works pretty fast on both of these devices. And also, both of these iPhones have the IP68 certification. The only difference is that the iPhone 11 is water resistant to a depth of 2 meters for up to 30 minutes, while the 11 Pro Max is water resistant to a depth of 4 meters for up to 30 minutes. So guys, I think by this point of the video you already might have an idea about which phone you should pick for yourself. So please let me know if you're gonna go for the iPhone 11, or are you gonna spend more money for the extra features of the iPhone 11 Pro Max? Thank you so much for watching this video guys, and see you in the next one!